Well, I'm already geared up. I did an intro video earlier, and I'm not an expert beekeeper, but I'm also not an expert YouTuber or videographer. So I did an intro, without my gear on, and talked about these splits, but my head was cut off. So I'm going to do another one, but I'm in my gear because I've already went in this hive, and they are not happy. That hive down there is not happy either. Anyway, I'm going to explain. This video is not a how-to video. I'm not a guy that some expert beekeeper that knows everything. I've just been doing this a few years. I enjoy it. It's my hobby. I have a small sideline operation, I guess you'd say, and I'm just going to show you how we do splits here at Barry's Best. And this video is not to put out on YouTube again as a how-to. It's mainly for my Facebook followers, so you can see a little more. I show snippets of stuff, but I want to show them a split that we're doing. It's spring. The bees are growing. The nectar is beginning to flow. We've got hives that are growing, so we need to split them or they're going to swarm. Find out which ones are strong and going to swarm. And I do what's called a vertical split. So I'm going to show you how I do that. You won't see that on YouTube very much, or Google. Not very many people show it on there, but we do it here in this area. A few of us we learned from Mr. Julian, who had river region beekeepers, and you'll see it on Mr. Ed's video. He'll show you how to do one. But I just found that for me it works really well. It's a simple split. It's a 50-50 split, and all we're doing is basically splitting 50% of the hives, between eggs, brood, and bees. It's not by any means the right way. It's the way I found it works. There are about 10 absolutes in beekeeping, and the rest is all preference. And this is my preference. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a 50-50 split. We're going to utilize a double screen board, a piece of newspaper. We're going to take this box, put this screen board in here with an entrance facing this way, and the queen most likely will be up here. And when we split it and put that newspaper in between, which I'll show you as we go, we're going to split the pheromone. They're going to be without a queen now. They're going to take eggs and make emergency cells, and they're going to make a new queen. 7 days from now, we'll come back. We'll prune out the bad cells. We'll keep the good cells, and we'll let them make a queen. In the meantime, we'll have this hive on top. The newspaper will get eaten through, and we now have 2 hives sharing the same heat, and that's critical right now because we're going to have days in the upper 30s and low 40s next week before we get the good warm-up. So I want them to share heat. I don't want chilled brood. I also want to make sure if the queen for some reason new queen doesn't take, or something doesn't work out, or we smash her somehow, we can recombine these by simply moving the board, putting a new piece of paper in, and recombining. We save space this way. We go high. And now I don't have to move this top box, this second hive that I make, until 2 or 3 weeks. Or if I just want to split them, leave the old queen up here. She's been there a couple years now. Let them make a new queen. When the new queen takes and is laying real good, I can take this old queen out and pinch her off. We recombine, and now we have a big super hive and make honey. So there's many advantages to this. Again, it's not the right way. It's just the way I found. I like doing it. I did it the first time I learned it from Mr. Julian, who, by the way, Mr. Julian has passed on, but his organization is keeping on going. Mr. Ed is helping out with it and doing the narratives and the question and answers, and we're all kind of chipping in. But I did the split like this, and then I went away from it for a year or so, and I had a few issues. This is because my space is not that big, so only a few acres. So I went back to it, and I've had nothing but success with it. I enjoy it. It's easy. I like to find the queen, so I know she's in the top. That way I don't have to do that later, because if for example, she's down in the bottom, and I put this board in without checking, which is not a problem, and they make new queen cells up here, well, I got to reverse them. I'd just as soon not do that, but it's not a big deal. You can do that. It works either way. It's just one less step that I have time to look for. If the day starts getting long this afternoon, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna just start shoving them in, and we'll worry where she is later. But in the beginning, I'm gonna find the queen. I found her in that one, and we didn't split that one though. It's not strong enough, and this one may not be strong enough. It was a couple weeks back, but we'll see. One other thing we did, usually we do this at the end of January, 6 weeks before we split, is we reverse boxes, because in the wintertime they move up as they need stores and food. When they're finally all in the top box, this is empty. So in February, beginning of February, we switch them. That way she's in the bottom now, and their tendency is to move up. Well, they'll move down later anyway, but what we do is we accelerate that. So now we should have 2 good boxes of bees, and that helps our split. It makes it a more healthy split. So all that being said, we're going to jump right in and see if we can get this done. And I do say forgive the angle of the camera because I set it up over there. That bee box absolutely is camera shy. They ate me up. So anyway, we'll get busy. Let them sit for a minute, kind of calm down. I got helpers possibly coming. I don't see them. They haven't texted me yet. Always check your top. You have a queen up there. She should be up here, so we're going to do a quick check and see. And I kind of move fast. I got beetles in this one. I like to squish them. I move fast, so I wear protection. You see a lot of guys without protection, that's fine. Move slow and easy, know your bees, use your smoke properly, and you can do that. I got quite a few hives to split, so I want to be sure as they get ornery, I get protected. See, they're already buzzing me because I move quick through them, so. Looking for the queen. Checking for swarm cells as well. I'm seeing drones, that's good. That means they're ready to mate. But that also means they're ready to swarm soon, so we got to be careful. That's why we're doing this beautiful brood pattern. Again, you don't have to look for the queen. She's most likely up here. Like Jeff said last night at the meeting, you know, or Mr. Ed there. Oh, there's a lot of brood comb in there. But 90% of the time, she's in the top by this time of year. Oh, goodness. Looks like they're already trying to supersede her. It's not a swarm cell, that's a superseder cell. So they're getting ready to supersede this queen anyway, which is not a bad thing. So when I find her, she'll go up top and we'll allow her to be superseded. That means we'll have a new queen in both boxes. It must not be performing. That's not an emergency cell. That's drone brood. Yeah, there's a queen in there. We're going to continue to find her and see where she's. Oh no, that might be emergency cells. We might have we got 2 more on this side. May not be splitting this after all. We might not have a queen in here at all. she's probably in the bottom or she's gone. Those appear to be emergency cells because there was more than one. Superseder, you usually just see one, maybe two. Swarm cells are on the bottom of the frame. You see tons. The emergency cells are all in the middle of the frame like that, of different sizes. That's a beautiful cell, so I don't want to really damage it, so I need to be careful. So we got eggs in the bottom. Then I think what we'll do is we'll split it anyway. See if we can make ourselves 2 queens. If it don't work, we pull the double springboard out. Smoking my hands because I'm trying to sting. And they're probably a little stressed right now if they don't have a queen. Double check. So again, there's that cell, hangs down. Because then if you look on this side, I have 2 more. So we're going to put this back. Check for eggs in the bottom. Got eggs in the bottom. I don't know if we will though, because if we've lost our queen, eggs are usually only at the most 3 days old. I doubt we do, but we'll check. And chances are we just won't split this hive. They're definitely not happy. Okay, and what's telling me they probably don't have a queen is the fact that they're very ornery right now. And when the hive is stressed like that, they can get ornery. And you can also tell that they're making queen cells that they may not have a queen because all the drone brood. When you got that much drone brood, that means they're making males. They're allowing her to make males for them. We're gonna see. We're gonna check. We'll save all this wax. Clean it up. I saw this queen 3 weeks ago. A little full frame of honey. And these bees look worse than they are. They're buzzing and all, but they're just basically flying around me. They're not attacking. They're not beating me up. Pollen. Once you get to pollen, you know you're getting into the brood nest. So we'll have honey and pollen, honey, brood. Alright, now I have to use a magnifying glass because I can't see eggs. So I just take there's eggs. There's eggs. Here's what we're gonna do. She's in here. Those could be swarm cells. Never seen just a few swarm cells though. See the drone? That's drone brood. I'm gonna pull some of that off. It's damaged. But I don't kill my drones because we're gonna need those. These queens need drones. We make new queens, we have to have drones, so we don't want to tear them all to pieces. I'm actually going to put that honey frame up top. They don't have a lot of honey up top. And I am going to split it. So here's how we're going to do it. I am going to split this because I know I have eggs on the bottom, which is unusual, so I still have a queen in there at least 3 days ago. Now, having cells up top like that, I'm thinking those are supersede cells. They're going to go ahead and supersede her, meaning something's wrong, they don't like her, she's injured, she's old. They don't appear to be swarm cells. And that's telling me that they want to replace her anyway. So we usually put the queen up there. Chances are she's up there. If not, we'll find out next week. So we'll split them anyway. I have eggs. They'll make a new queen if she's not down there. If she is, again, we'll switch them. But up here, we have queens being made. So we're going to have a queen either way. But again, if things don't work out, we put them back together. It's not a big deal. So take some newspaper. This is to break the pheromone. This is where it gets tricky when it's breezy. Put this here. Of course, I'm OCD, so I want it all square. Put our screen bottom board on. I say screen bottom board, it's a double screen board. Make sure I understand that. They can't get through and they can't touch each other. So now, when they go ahead and break through this newspaper, the pheromone is split, they won't associate this top hive with themselves. They can't touch each other, they can't pass anything on, so now this is a separate hive. The entrance is this way, so all the new bees will reorient coming this way. All the old field bees that are in here are going to come out, they're going to go back down here, so this hive is going to be loaded with bees. Got one down my pants, I think. Yeah. Put this on top, simply like this. There's our honey frame. Let's put that in there. Beetles. Small hive beetles, bad down here in the south. Alright, now we've done what we've done. Now, I will say this. Well, what I have done in the past, and I'll probably do today because I didn't bring any with me, but I have some in the barn, is in one year Mr. Julian told us we could do this, another time he said it doesn't really matter. I do it, I think it's a good idea, is we would we'd stuff a little toilet paper, or toilet tissue, or any even facial tissue, just kind of stuff it in the entrance back here. And you can do this when you reorient hives in the same yard, and put it in lightly and make them chew their way out. And what that does is it forces them to reorient through that. It keeps them in there another day or so, but then they have to reorient coming out. It works, I do it. I don't have to, it's just something I do. Like I said, don't change something that's been working. But that's really it. Now, one thing I will say is, bees never do what you want them to do. They did not read the book. They didn't read the same book I read, and they didn't read the same book you read. So, this was supposed to be a simple split, queen in the top, eggs in the bottom, put the board in, get out of town. Well, as you see, something happened. Always have to be prepared with these things. These insects, they will surprise you every time. So here we got some cells on the top. Supersedure, I'm pretty sure. We didn't expect that, but you know what? You have to learn to adapt. In your first few years of beekeeping, you learn to adapt. You figure things out. You learn the hard way. You lose hives. But this hive will be fine, and again, if it's not, we'll recombine it. We'll put another piece of paper in, break the pheromone once again. What that will allow is it will allow those bees to have to chew through, and they get used to the smell, and they go back in with each other. Some will fight, some will die, but for the most part, when you combine them like that, they'll take. And again, that's the great thing. And you see, I didn't use up any more space. I still have my empty spot from hives later. I can plan where I want to put them. If I want to take them, I have a yard, I may be taking some too. It just makes it easier. So anyway, that's about it really. I can't think of anything else. It's that simple. And again, not a how-to video, just something showing you and telling you what I do, telling you why I'm doing it, what they do. Mainly for my YouTube or my Facebook followers on Barry's Best Honey. And don't forget to, you know, I might get this YouTube page going a little more down the road, but mainly I set it up years ago to share videos with people, share videos with friends out of state and things like that. So we may get it going, but you can like it and subscribe to it. That's fine. If not, again, it's not updated regularly. But my Facebook page, Barry's Best Honey. Go ahead and go on, like us, follow us. We're at the Lafitte Street Market normally. We hope to be there tomorrow. I'm not sure. We're going to bottle some honey tonight. We don't have a lot left, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do want to add one thing before I turn this off. These bees are all around the camera. Don't be alarmed by the bees. They're not hitting me, attacking me. There's a few of them. I think if I had my veil off, I'd probably swat a couple and they'd sting me, but they're really just bouncing around me. They're telling me they don't care for what I'm doing, but they are not attacking anyway. I know it looks like a lot of them, but I've just disturbed their entire brood nest. I've got brood honey right where you see it right there, all that old brood, that strong brood that was broken. I'm going to open that up and check for varroa mite, see if we're safe on that, but they're all over that. They're just kind of excited right now. We need to open their entrance a little bit more. So we just did a lot to them, and I move fast. I don't move slow, so that's probably why you see what you see. There'll be other hives that won't be quite this bad, but plus they're stressed about their queen somehow or another. That's why they're superseding her. So that's another reason they're you know, a little agitated. You can tell a hive when you open it up and they have no queen. They're roaring loud. That's why I think they have a queen in there still. They're just superseding her, and she hasn't been. They'll kill her when they get the new queen. And the cell was about 3/4 away, so she's still in there. We're gonna go with what we got, and we'll see what happens. Bees, they're always doing something to throw you off. Alrighty, you guys have a great one.